So Joe Biden is doubling down and tripling down on something that he said in his State of the Union address. Let me go ahead and show you. This article was in Essence. President Biden urges return to office. Quote, most Americans can remove their masks, return to work, and move forward safely. The statement has been met with pushback from citizens. Let me give you some of the body of the article here. They say, President Biden is reiterating his plea that Americans return to the office. Multiple corporations, including Google, Apple, and Nike, have begun to announce that they are ushering employees back into the office after COVID-19 shutdowns began in March 2020. Biden is hoping to see this re-entry take place on a larger scale. He spoke on this twice last week, once during his State of the Union address on March 1st and again on March 5th. The second set of remarks came on the same day that New York Mayor Eric Adams announced that the mask mandate for schools would end effective immediately, as well as vaccine requirements for indoor activities like restaurants and concert venues. Quote, because of the progress we've made in fighting COVID, Americans can not only get back to work, but they can go to the office and safely fill our great downtown cities and creating more commerce, the president said on March 5th. With 75% of adults fully vaccinated and hospitalizations down by 77%, most Americans can remove their mask, return to work, and move forward safely. This was a direct callback to statements made during his State of the Union address. So, he said it once, I didn't think much of it, but then he said it like a second and third time, and I was like, okay, they're actually trying to force people to get back to the office. I'm sure you guys have seen the reports. There are a lot of reports out there now of people basically just won't stand for it anymore. Like, no, I'm not going to go to the office. I'm going to work from home. And if you don't like that, I'll find a different job. That's a common thing now. We covered the New York governor basically came out and said, look, it's never going to be like it was. Maybe you work two days in the office or 3, but you're going to have maybe 2 or 3 at home. Like, this is what people are sort of demanding. Now, there are some people who are office people and they're super extroverted and they want to be at the office and they want to be around people all the time like that. But then there are plenty of people who aren't like that. And they'd rather be home, and they'd rather be with the kids, and they'd rather be with their spouse, and, they like the idea of staying in your pajamas until 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, I think the trend is a lot of people want to work from home, they want to work remotely, and also now, the other thing is, with the gas prices now as high as they are, a lot of people probably can't even afford to get to the office. With everything that's happening with Russia and Saudi Arabia, that's a practical consideration now. But here's the real reason why I think they're pushing it so hard. Here's the real reason. And I saw this on Twitter. I forget who said it, but it was a brilliant point. It's about the commercial real estate bubble. Oh, that's it. That's what it is. Commercial real estate bubble. So they're afraid that bubble's going to burst. And when that bubble bursts, that's pain, son. That is... Again, there's a million things that could cause our next Great Recession and or depression, but that could be the thing. Because it is way overinflated. Absolutely. I mean, regular real estate is super overinflated too. The bubble was just reinflated after the last crash in 2008. They had Wall Street come in and buy up all these houses and rent them back at absurdly high prices. It doesn't reflect, it's not a good reflection of where we're at economically. People's wages have been largely stagnant, and then you got this housing prices that keep rising and rising and rising and rising. You have the, Richard Wolff says the inflation is in stuff like real estate, and it's in the stock market. That's where inflation has mostly been up to this point. So if that bubble bursts, that commercial real estate bubble bursts, that's terrible. And with the pandemic, now, in theory, we're saying it's done, even though there's still over 1,000 deaths a day. But the way everybody's acting now is if it's done. They're trying to get people to go back, and a lot of people are resistant. The economy is just fundamentally changing, and that commercial real estate bubble can pop. And that's a whole new world type stuff, man. So I think that's what they're afraid of. I think they are hearing from experts or see some signs that, that could go. And so I think that's why they're pushing it. I mean, also, there's the obvious thing of they want to be able to control. They want the CEOs, the bosses, the managers, they want them to have more direct control over the workers at their work life. But I don't think that's the primary thing. I think for maybe the individual businesses and corporations, they want that. But for the government, for the federal government, I think it's concerned about the commercial real estate bubble. So I don't know, but I think hopefully the economy has just changed now, and people do get to work from home. Anything that gives workers more independence, autonomy, freedom, I'm in favor of. And, I love unions for that reason. I love paid vacation time by law. I would love a 4-day work week. Working from home at least half the time is something that, people I think should be able to do. So hopefully it changed. I don't know. They're trying really hard to force people back to work, and we'll see how that ends up. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.